been under the weather, so I'm gonna have a nice gravelly voice, and I'll let you just do this whole episode by yourself.
Guilty. Well, that's gonna be hard because I didn't make notes. That's what she said. What?
Well, I sent you notes. So
you kind of didn't though.
Oh.
It's blank.
I'm going to go hit save on my other computer real quick and then send us the
it's
notes.
Not blank, but it's pretty blank.
It is pretty blank. I see that. I will be right back.
But I did watch the whole movie. Okay.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there's Brandon. I've gone into the shock jock voice for some reason. I don't know what that's about.
Well, as long as you have the energy, because I'm kind of dead over here.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Twitter and Instagram at namely90s with a 90s. You can also find this show on YouTube at namely90s.com/YouTube. And finally, if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s, also with a 90s, and get signed up. Microphone troubles there?
I'm just trying to find a position I like.
That's what she said. It's too easy.
Well, because I know I'm going to just be breathing heavily into the microphone for the next hour. And
it's soothing.
I don't have a way to edit. I don't want to edit that out.
It's an ASMR podcast of just you breathing heavily. I can put it on before bed.
I'm still a wee bit under the weather. I can't breathe through my nose, and I'm just like...
I'm currently over the weather. Soon to be under it again, I'm sure.
Because you have to walk between your shed and your house?
Yeah, exactly. It's been sort of raining sideways a lot recently.
That started here today. We should have rain for about a day and a half.
It's installment number 2 of Namely Weather.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. No, we recorded last week, and then I did my Friday stream and my Saturday stream on Nintendo. And Saturday I had like a little, that little nasal drip down the back, and that grossness. But I'm like, maybe I have allergies to something. The stuff was blooming. It was sunny that day, and then next morning I woke up and I had a sore throat, and I was just like, this isn't bad. Like,
you're having an allergy to a virus, basically.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so I mean, it's having been inside for the last 2 years. You don't really get. We haven't had colds, like just basic colds, and so it's like, I'm like, do I have coronavirus? Is this just a head cold? I mean, like I was over the nasal stuff by like Monday, and thought it would feel better, but it's still like dripping a little bit. And my fan kept my fan on all week, which really irritated my already irritated nasal cavities. Thank you for Brandon's cold, namely Brandon's cold.
I had that, and then I was followed by like 5 days of randomly wanting to barf. It was so cool. I have a little bit, like it was mostly a cough like the last few days, just because I have the drip and the little chest like congestion, but it's not world ending. It's not. I've not been sick for 2 years, so it's just like, I don't know how to function. Or you could say congestion.
Yeah. Ooh, there was a really bad pun that I knew you would have liked, but I forgot to write it down.
Darn.
Mm-hmm. We forgot to welcome people to the April special.
It's the April special episode where we talk about Brandon's sinuses the entire episode.
An entire hour. We're doing it on Romy and Michele's high school reunion. I may have pronounced it wrong previously for the last 25 years because today, April 25th, is the exact 25th anniversary to the release of Romy and Michele's high school reunion in April 25th, 1997. Unless I did my math wrong. And then I forced us to watch this movie.
Close enough. No, it seems right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good one. I intended to watch it last night, but then there was a gathering of sorts in the neighborhood. So by the time I got home, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, after this recording, which it's very late at night already, I have to watch Con Air for 2 hours. So because I'm going to be on a 90s action, all 90s action all the time. And we're recording it Saturday morning at 8 a.m. New Zealand time, which is 1 p.m. Friday Pacific time.
Good day, mate, which I realize isn't the correct accent.
It is not.
New Zealand is a hard accent to do. I struggle with it.
Well, you remember our friend Scott is British.
Scottish?
Was he Scottish?
I just wanted to say Scottish. Oh, dear Lord.
He might have been Welsh, or he might have been...
I don't know what that means.
He might have been Scottish.
No, that seems like... No, I don't think so. I think that was another guy. Was that Gary or... No, Gary's not someone we've ever worked with.
No, he might have been... Either he was English living in Scotland or Scottish living in England. It might have been the first one. And then he moved. His wife, I think his wife is Scottish. And then they moved to New Zealand and they stopped doing the podcast, but now they're doing the podcast again, apparently.
Very cool.
Yeah. You're welcome to join if you're free tomorrow, 1 p.m.
Yeah, no.
You don't watch 2 hours of Nick Cage being Nick Cage?
I'm just not available.
You have been busy. Yeah. April special.
It's exciting.
Yeah. It's so exciting. We've not even cleared our chit chat segment.
Somehow I was able to, I must have previously set up Tubi on my television.
All right.
Because I was able to just talk into the remote and it came up, and I didn't have to spend any money, which was kind of nice because spending $4 on this would have been a little bit.
Yeah, it may have colored my opinion on this movie.
You're like, I'm waiting to get my $4 back in laughs, and it's not happening. But then I saw a commercial for something on Fox that I forgot the name of already. Mm-hmm. And like the thing with commercials is usually like put some good jokes in there so that people are like, this is going to be funny. And I'm like, this show, they put 3 jokes in this commercial and none of them were funny. Like, this is not going to be good. And
those are the 3 jokes from the episode.
Those are the best jokes. Yeah. And then I was like, what was that a joke? I'm confused.
Yeah. I just did a simple calculation on my computer. I got $1 per joke from this rental.
Wow. And they certainly were not worth that much.
$1 per genuine laugh.
Now I feel bad because I can't remember. I actually laughed out loud at one point and I cannot remember for the life of me why.
I would bet you it's one of the 4 things that I picked.
Oh, no, I remember what it was. Okay. I guess I'll wait.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Well, do you have anything else you want to share with the people before we get into this? No, I'll share.
No. Okay, go.
In 3 episodes from now, that's our 3rd May episode, we are celebrating our 2-year Namely 90s anniversary. And because Andrew didn't want to just celebrate the 100th episode, which is next week, by the way, and then just do easy milestones from there, we're doing yearly anniversary special.
Well, it gives us more time. That gives
us a little less time because we have done nothing for this.
That's true.
Between the 2 of us to prep but it's still 3 weeks away. Listeners, this is just us bickering. You, on the other hand, get to enjoy our 2-year anniversary special made out of a labor of love from both Andrew and I. Like last year, we're going to be breaking down the
it's a labor of obligation, really.
Only because we announced it. And it's to ourselves, not to you. We'll be running down the previous year, kind of highlighting some of our favorite things that went on. Unfortunately, there's no Jewel poems, so we'll be doing other things this year, but we'll have some fun stuff. We'll do some games. We'll do some Namely 90s top 5 moments of the last year from both of us. We'll do some random clip packages and have a great time. But if you are a Namely 90s listener and you're listening to this before May 1st, 2022, and you have an ability to record yourself, maybe you have a cell phone with voice memo that then connects to an email account that you can name or that you can email to Namely90s with a 90s at gmail.com. Send us your audio clips that you want us to play of you congratulating us for 2 years, because we asked our friends to do it and we have like one thing so far.
Well, it'll all come together in the end.
Yep. And now that I've doxed our email, let's move on. No, I'm kidding. That's our fan email.
Yes, it's overloaded with fan mail.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's that one dude that's like, hey, show feet on Maine. And we're all like, no.
Go over to WikiFeet. I've got a page there.
He's not wrong.
Oh, dear Lord. Apparently people are really obsessed with, what's the lady from Will and Grace? Deborah Messing. Apparently she's got people are really into like her foot page.
I don't understand the whole foot thing. I'm not judging it. I don't understand.
No kink shaming here, but we
don't like to yuck yums, as they say.
It's quite, there's like a whole database of feet.
I'm aware WikiFeet exists.
Someone did a joke somewhere. I don't know if it was Schitt's Creek or another show about like going on basically like having an OnlyFans for her feet to pay off her student loans or something.
Mm-hmm. That actually happens now.
It's so strange. What a time to be alive.
But it makes bank. I mean, if I had some nice gams.
Speaking of a time before WikiFeet was even a twinkle in its founder's eye, shall we go back to 1997?
Sure. Take us back to 1997.
All right. So we watched Romy and Michele's High School Reunion, which is a movie starring Lisa Kudrow of Friends fame.
Yes. It claims it's an American comedy film directed by David Merkin. Yes. Merkin, the thing where you put it, it's a toupee for your...
It's a toupee for your crotch, yeah. And starring, who, is it Myra or Mira?
I believe it's Mira Sorvino.
Mira Sorvino. She's not famous, is she?
She is. She's
like lightly famous from the 90s, but not like, certainly not A-list famous.
I mean, no, but are you saying Lisa Kudrow's A-list famous?
She's like high B-list.
Yeah, that's fine, but like... Mira Sorvino has been nominated for a Golden Globe twice for Best Actress.
Really?
On a miniseries or television series.
Okay. What is the accent she has?
That is a great question.
That was the thing. We were watching Schitt's Creek, and there's an episode where, Moira's at the front desk of the hotel, and like some guest comes in. And she treats him badly, and then he writes a review, and he said some woman with an unidentifiable accent was mean to him. That's exactly what I thought of here. She had an unidentifiable accent.
Also, she apparently is a Harvey Weinstein victim.
Oh dear. Now I feel horrible. Yeah. It also had Janeane Garofalo, who is a comedian and who appeared on season 7 of 24 as a serious character who is also slightly funny.
Was she like the second Chloe?
She was kind of in the Chloe, like, yeah, because I think Chloe was gone for there a little bit. So Janeane Garofalo. Boy, there's a 90s name.
Yep. I like
early 2000s.
I like Janeane Garofalo. Remember, she was in The Truth About Cats and Dogs, Wet Hot American Summer. She was in Reality Bites. But then, like, you know, she's always like the character she played in this. She's like the bitchy friend, and yeah. And then she came back for Wet Hot American Summer, First Day at Camp, the Netflix series, which was pretty funny and surprisingly good. But yeah, do you know what The Truth About Cats and Dogs? Do you know which song was made famous from that soundtrack? Or
is it that stupid one by like the Brian Setzer Orchestra or whatever it is?
No, I believe I might be wrong. It might be the other one, but no, it's "Run Around" by Blues Traveler.
Oh yeah, is that why there's the cat with the sunglasses? Or
unrelated. That was just the album art. But "Run Around" was on the soundtrack for this movie, which was also it's Janeane Garofalo, Ethan Hawke's wife, Uma Thurman. And Jamie Foxx is in it. Anyway, we're talking about Romy and Michele's high school reunion, a much worse movie. The plot revolves around two 28-year-old girls who appear to have not achieved much success in life and decide to invent fake careers to impress former classmates at their 10-year high school reunion. It was taken from a stage play called Ladies' Room, which also featured Lisa Kudrow. And Wikipedia called this a cult classic, which is why I suggested it as one of our options. I really wish you would have been more firm about picking Volcano.
I mean, I picked this because it was supposed to be funny, and I like Lisa Kudrow because I like Friends. It was
supposed to be funny. I was positioning it because I wanted you to pick this one.
But Volcano is the
lesser of the two.
It's a Tommy Lee Jones vehicle, is it not? I thought it was.
Yeah, yes, but
I love that movie.
I much rather would watch Dante's Peak.
I know, but like Tommy Lee Jones funnels the lava using like highway dividers. It's really smart.
James Bond almost dies on a car, hopping from car to car as the lava swirls around him.
Oh, and then it like cuts that grandma in half. Remember that scene? Good God.
Was that Dante's Peak or Volcano? Okay.
Like melts their grandmother in the lava. It's crazy.
Oh.
Why is that so funny to me?
I don't know. You're trying to signal something about your own.
It fits that classic model of like no one will listen to the scientist, a la Dennis Quaid and the other one, The Day After Tomorrow. There's always like the scientist that no one will listen to, and then later they're like, "We should have listened to you." Yeah, it's bad.
I remember. We've already talked about Dante's Peak, I think, but
the thing about Dante's Peak that annoys me is they're like, "It's a volcano. There's no possible way it could erupt." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's a volcano, and it like just because it didn't erupt yesterday, like that specifically means it could erupt today."
Yes. I remember. Do you remember the movie theater by the Everett Mall?
Yeah, the one was by the Applebee's. It's now a Russian church.
Yes, exactly that one.
Yeah,
by the DeVry University, or
next to the Barber College and the furniture store that used to be a Good Guy Future Shop. Remember Future Shop? It was a Future Shop.
Yes, or I remember seeing it, and it's like almost across the street from the Arby's.
Yeah, and sort of by the Trader Joe's.
Yes,
and the Qdoba.
Yes, the Qdoba. Just a little ways down from the Target. Anyway, I remember. Actually, that wasn't the movie theater I was thinking of. Never mind.
Well, there was a movie theater in the. Remember, there was one in the Everett Mall by the Sears. They had just a few screens before they built the big Regal over there.
That must be the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I remember exiting and seeing this poster, and I can't place what movie theater.
It was by the Macy's. Sorry, it was down by the Macy's.
It was the one, because it was the one where, did we see Pokemon 2000?
We might have. They had like 3 screens. It was by like the piano shop and the Macy's, and there was like a cut through to the food court. Yeah, that's where it was.
Yeah, that one. Thank you, everyone, for traveling back with us to our childhood.
Yes.
Although, I guess we could save this for part 2.
By the way, they're tearing the Everett Mall down.
Oh, thank God.
They're leaving a few things, but they're like tearing the mall part down and putting like outdoor shopping or something.
It's been empty for years.
Yeah, I know.
Except for like 15 rug sales places. And
it'll be nice.
A weird anime shop.
You can shop outside with and have all the freeway noise and gunfire. So that's good.
That's the one plus for it being inside. The more pillars and walls to catch bullets than
The
soundtrack slaps. I'm just gonna throw
absolutely. I mean, I actually made a comment about that. I was like, it's got the music. It just keeps on giving.
Let's pin that. First, we're going to play Mighty Morphin Power Rankers. That's our new game for our specials this year. Are you familiar with Mighty Morphin Power Rankers, Andrew? Can you explain it to our viewers?
Yeah, essentially, we put out a question, and then we give options, and then people have to rank on social what the best movie or best song is in their order or whatever.
Yes, and unfortunately, I completely forgot about it until the night before recording. So not a lot of you got to participate in this month's Power Rankers. Be on the lookout first week of May, second week of May for one for our 2-year anniversary edition. And you can follow us on the socials at Namely90s with 90s on Instagram and on Twitter. That's how you play Mighty Morphin Power Rankers. Are you ready, Andrew?
Let's do it.
All right. Round 1, the question that I asked was, what is the best Alan Cummings movie from these choices? Do you know who Alan Cummings is?
I think it's Alan Cumming, isn't it?
I believe it has an S.
Actually, no.
No, it doesn't have an S.
No S.
Interesting. Then I've been spelling that wrong for some time.
So which one? So the 4 choices. Go ahead.
They are. You could say them because I'm about to sneeze.
GoldenEye, Romy and Michele's High School Reunion, Spy Kids, and Josie and the Pussycats. And strangely enough, that's the order I would put them in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me input that in our little thing here. A little CV. We do round by round, right? That's my game. Why am I asking you this?
Sure. If we don't stop sneezing, or if we ever stop sneezing.
Yeah. Luckily, you were the one that sneezed there. So my order was GoldenEye, Spy Kids, Josie and the Pussycats, and Romy and Michele. All right. So, do you want the totals, or do you want it cut by? Let's just do totals.
It gets kind of slow if we do it all that way. I would just give it the order.
All right. Final order is at number 1. We have GoldenEye.
Yes.
At number 2, we have Spy Kids. At number 3, we have Romy and Michele's High School Reunion. And at number 4, we have Josie and the Pussycats. So, Andrew.
Yes.
This is the first time that we've been tied 2 to 2.
2 and 2.
We both got GoldenEye correct. You got Josie correct, and I got Spy Kids correct. So, going after the first round, we're 2 and 2. You don't need a bonus question. Good thing, because I didn't pick one. Next up, we have, what is the best song omitted from Romy and Michelle's? God, why am I? It's spelled Romy. right? Romy.
It's Romy.
I know, but it's spelled. If there should be an E.
I think it would be 2 M's if it was Romy.
Fair enough. Romy and Michele's high school reunion soundtrack. What is the best song omitted from Romy and Michele's high school reunion soundtrack due to rights issues? I'm just going to say it wrong all podcast. So don't you worry. Is it YMCA by the Village People, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, Just a Girl by No Doubt, or Footloose by Kenny Loggins? That was the question I posed. Can you rank the order?
I want to go Footloose as 1.
Okay.
Time After Time as 2. Just a Girl as 3, and YMCA as 4.
All right. And the correct order is, with 9 total votes, Footloose.
Boom.
Followed by Just a Girl.
Damn.
Followed by Time After Time.
Yeah.
And YMCA. Why were you cheering for Time After Time? You got that?
I didn't cheer for that.
Oh. Oh, you were cheering for YMCA being 4th. Gotcha.
Yes.
So, I forgot to say my order. My order was Time After Time, Just a Girl, Footloose, and YMCA. I thought people wouldn't care for the logins.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know some people want logins to log out. I
mean, honestly,
log in with your log out. What?
Logins. So what actually happened was logins got all of the votes except for 2. And those 2 were spread across Time After Time and Just a Girl. So I had to take a tiebreaker from a random G4 Discord member named Kenji. And he picked Just a Girl over Time After Time. Moving on. The third question was, who is your favorite actress out of all of these Romy and Michele's? Because there was a prequel starring Katherine Heigl and Alexandria Breckenridge.
Did not know that about Katherine Heigl.
I know, right? So we have Lisa Kudrow, Mira Sorvino, Katherine Heigl, and Alexandria Breckenridge. How would you rank these?
Kudrow is 1. Heigl is 2. Ooh, this is up to Breckenridge 3. Nope. Sorvino 3, Breckenridge 4.
Okay. So what has happened is we've picked the same thing and we're tied 4-4. So you said Kudrow, Heigl, Sorvino. Yeah, so we have the exact same thing. So this was out of 6 votes, it was a 3-way tie for number 1. So I asked our same friend Kenji from the G4 Discord to break the tie for me and give me their definitive order. Would you like to reshuffle? Since mine is locked in, since I know the answer.
No, I like mine.
Okay, just so you're aware, we will tie regardless. Okay.
Listen, I'm not going to change my answer. I don't want to get it more wrong.
I'm just saying, if you would like to change it, my answer is locked in. I already know.
Basically, it's like soccer. We spent 90 minutes doing it. We're going to end in a tie.
Exactly. This is your opportunity to win if you would like.
I don't know how I would reorder it to win. So it's also my opportunity to lose.
That is true. All right. So at number 1, being contradictory to our list, he wrote Mira Sorvino.
Bogus. She's nobody. Come on. No, I'm sorry. Nope. We the tiebreaker rules.
Number 2 was Kudrow. Number 3 was Heigl. And number 4 was Alexandria Breckenridge.
Yeah, I can't.
You know, regardless, we've tied.
That's true.
Congratulations. This is your first push.
Yeah, I usually suck at this.
Yeah, usually yes. Usually it is some would say a slaughter.
Yeah.
But you were more in tune with the audience this week. Or just as in tune as I was.
Oh man.
Well, the thing I find most interesting is most of our answers are opposite. Like the ones I got wrong, you got right, and the ones I got right, you got wrong. That's fun. Andrew and I tie for, I don't know why that's irking me so much, for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Next time I will have to make sure to have a bonus question in case of a tie. Because Andrew's not going to change his things when I give him a chance to do it. All right.
Well, because it's a risk averseness. I got to make sure you change it.
I can't. I already I know the answers. I would have changed it. But
it's fine. Tying is okay. A bunch of people watch us. Like the world's most popular sport ends in ties.
Yes, but most of our listeners are from the United States.
So what you're saying is at the end, we need to just have a fight to the death.
Yes.
Sudden death, literally.
We could play a game of Joust, which I realize is an 80s game and not a 90s game. We could play a game of...
You have to wear a leotard and a padded helmet.
Oh, I will...
And hit each other with a giant Q-tip.
I'll take you... Or we could just do a video game of some sort, like a balloon fight. Anyway, you want to talk about the soundtrack?
Sure, why not? It was good.
Very informative.
Well, I mean, it was like a bunch of really good 80s songs. I mean, it was, of course,
and
it
one
opens,
good 90s song.
It opens with No Doubt, obviously, which was like, all right, yep, I can see that.
They played like 5 times during the movie.
They did. They really did. Yeah, that's true.
Uh-huh.
But I don't remember all of this. I mean, obviously, Footloose wasn't on the soundtrack, but it was in the movie.
Yes.
So that's fun.
So there are, all of these songs were omitted. So they released 10 days prior to the release of the movie. They released 2 soundtracks, one called Romy and Michele's High School Reunion, and another one is more music from the motion picture. Some of them featuring songs not actually in the movie, but songs that were actually in the movie that they couldn't get for licensing reasons on these soundtracks were Just a Girl by No Doubt, YMCA by the Village People, Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, Ain't No Love, Ain't No Use by Sub, Footloose by Kenny Loggins, Hello Trouble by the Desert Rose Band, and Don't Get Me Wrong by the Pretenders, which I thought was a choice use of the Pretenders. I believe that played the second time Michele entered the prom, or not the prom, the reunion, the real time she did. But other standouts, Turning Japanese by the Vapors, Dance Hall Days by Wang Chung. There's Always Something There to Remind Me by The Naked Eyes, Venus by Bananarama, I Want Candy by Bow Wow, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. I would listen to this.
Turning Japanese, is that still cool?
No.
Okay, I was going to say I don't think that's cool.
Yeah, there's Domo Arigato, Mr. Movado, but I still listen to it.
Yes, it's you somehow reminded me of that whole Seattle Mariners thing, but I don't know where I come down on that whole debate of they've been playing Louie Louie in the 7th inning stretch for 30 years.
Since we were children.
There was once a push to make Louie Louie the state song of Washington.
They play at the Husky games too.
It started, I guess, on a night where Randy Johnson pitched a no-hitter, and they just started always playing it every night since that night. So that's how it came to be, and then they decided to change it because 30 years had passed. 30 and now
years.
Older white dudes love it, but other people may not. You know what I mean?
So Louie Louie like Tequila is one of those songs that's nostalgic of course. Because Tequila is in Sandlot. That's when they do the chew and they do the whole vomiting scene.
Which movie or which song?
Tequila.
Yeah, they actually talked about using Tequila for the Mariners, but then they decided it belonged to the Huskies, so they decided no on that.
Right, the Huskies play that as well, more so than Louie. But why would you do that during the seventh? Like, pick a more modern song if you're going to update it. Yes,
and they did, which is kind of I feel like it's been overused. The "Can't Hold Us" by Macklemore, because they did it with the Seahawks for a while.
I'm sorry, you watch NHL hockey, and every single song is from an 80s power ballad.
What's your point?
You're calling Macklemore's song overused compared to like literally every hockey song?
No, I know. I think overused for Seattle, like to the point where now it's kind of like a cliche. Almost as much as like every time Fox is here for football, they have to play like Nirvana for their bumper music constantly. You're like, it's a cliche.
That's a cliche, but it's local music. It's like Macklemore, I don't really care about anymore, but he is.
What happened to Ryan Lewis? Damn it!
Well, no, Macklemore did. I have that vinyl of that song. What was the one? Same Love.
Yeah, I know that.
That was a good one. I don't know. If you have a local music artist that's semi-popular that supports the team, like he made an actual song in honor of Dave Niehaus. I feel like
that was cool.
Yeah.
I liked that the Kraken have their goal celebration song is a song about having bipolar disorder.
Right.
Like their goaltending. Okay, sorry.
Wow.
Hockey jokes.
All around the subject of
Does
things.
That say Janine Girafalo? No, not quite. He looks like
you're going to enjoy that later. I thought while we have some time before we get to the actual movie, high school reunions. We are old enough that we've already gone to our 10-year. In fact, I believe this year should this year be our 15th?
Yeah, I don't think they do that though.
Okay, good. Because I was like, oh, I'm missing it. I went to my 10-year. Did you go to your 10-year?
No. I considered it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the last minute, I decided not to.
Fair enough. Says the man that ran away from his own prom to come hang out with a bunch of...
run away from it. I just decided to leave and then
bunch of hooligans
rolled into Beth's Cafe at 3 a.m. in a tuxedo. I mean, what's wrong with that?
That was pretty baller. Ripped
had some
to the
max.
Beth's Cafe.
No, they reopened.
Oh, good. I was worried about that.
But no, it was kind of odd because my ex-girlfriend at
the high school girlfriend.
Yeah, she organized the reunion, and I just didn't have the energy. I can't. I didn't want to hear stories about people's pets.
Takes a lot of hairspray.
Yeah. So no, I didn't go, but I did go to Kayla's, which was at like this waterfront venue
that's right.
in Everett. It was kind of fun. I didn't know anybody. There's not enough booze, but it was all right.
Ours fell apart. I think there are only like 30 of us RSVP'd out of a class of 254. And with half of them still living in the area, half to 3/4 of them still living in the area. So it's like, it was nothing like the one portrayed in the movie.
Yeah. They always try to make it look kind of like a prom.
Especially this one. They were all wearing like prom dresses.
And the issue with movies is that the characters are the same people at the same age, and they have to try to make them look different ages based on their wardrobe or maybe slightly their makeup. But in real life, people change a hell of a lot in 10 years, especially the 10 years between being 18 and being 28,
Right. I have thoughts on that when we get to the movie. But they must have been like renovating something in the school, because they're like, they did not let us, like, we had a guided tour of the campus at like 7 p.m. But like
party people.
Yeah. So it's like we walked around campus for a half hour, and then we went down to Green Lake and drank for the rest of the night.
There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think ours was at a venue, but it was, I don't know exactly how, it was or whatever.
Yeah. The weirdest part was like, oh, you can't go into the gym because they're renovating it. And it's like, cool. Thanks for that.
I saw pictures of mine after the fact, and I was like, wow, that's validating.
That you didn't want to go.
Yeah. It's like, wow, I feel that picture, and I'm glad I wasn't there.
I remember what it was. So they had it planned. It was in our alumni magazine. And then someone scheduled, I assume their wife scheduled their wedding the same weekend, same day.
Wow.
So everyone was at the wedding except for like 30 of us. Because as they said in this movie, it was the A crowd. It was the A crowd wedding. I was like, that's kind of uncool. Anyway, let's toss it across the pond to our friends from the UK, Gas and Dange of the Insanely Dangerous Retro Podshow, for the UK headlines from April 1997.
Good evening. Here are your headlines for April 1997 in the UK. The BBC confirms comedy duo Hale and Pace have signed £1 million 2-year deal that will see them move from ITV. I Believe I Can Fly hits the UK #1. The Saint hits the UK cinemas.
By order of the management, we've compiled these headlines, and even though we thought we could not go on, and I thought that life was nothing but an awful song, so with that in mind, we'll take you back to those saintly 90s boys.
Thank you, Dange, for the headlines, and thank you for that one, guys. If you'd like to follow up on these UK headlines, check out the segment What Happened Way Back When on this Thursday's episode of the Insanely Dangerous Retro Podshow. And stick around until the end, because Andrew and I do a weekly segment over on the Insanely Dangerous Retro Podshow called Quotely 90s, where we make Gas and Dange guess a quote from a movie and, guess actors and stuff like that. Plus, we'll give you a sneak peek of what we're talking about on next Monday's episode. And now, your Namely 90s Minute for the week. Welcome back to our mid-episode break, Namely 90s Minute. Every week, we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of the 25th anniversary of its release, we are looking back at Romy and Michele's high school reunion. Romy and Michele's High School Reunion is a 1997 comedy starring Phoebe from Friends, Linda Ash from The Mighty Aphrodite, and Abby from The Truth About Cats and Dogs. The plot revolves around Romy and Michele going to their 10-year high school reunion, but they are too embarrassed that they're 28, living together single, and only have one minimum wage job between the two of them. Initially, their plan is to work hard over the coming 2 weeks to get their lives and bodies in shape to impress the popular clique from high school, which we learn about through flashbacks. But alas, 2 weeks wasn't enough time, so instead they decide they can just pretend they're successful. Romy borrows a Jaguar from a coworker, and Michele makes them businesswoman attire, and they hit the road for Tucson, Arizona. On the way, they have a classic blow-up for no reason over who is the brain and who is the beauty, so they decide to split up when they reach the reunion. And in what turns out to be a dumb dream sequence, they go to the reunion, pull off their lies, and end up estranged for 70 years until Romy dies in an oddly accurate depiction of the future. Then, Michele wakes up outside the reunion and goes in. Romy's lie about inventing post-it notes doesn't go as she planned, and the leader of the popular clique reveals it to the entire crowd. This reunites Romy and Michele, and they change into their loud, and I assume fashionable for the 90s, outfits, and then tell the prom queen off. The nerd that had a crush on Michele in high school then comes back as a rich person, so she'll finally dance with him, and the three of them leave together in a helicopter and have a menage. And that's Romy and Michele's high school reunion, in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less.
And now, back to the show.
Well, this is where I normally ask you anywhere you want to go, but we're just going to break down the movie.
Why don't we talk about the movie that we watched?
Yeah, Romy and Michele's high school reunion. If you've made it through the break with us, thank you for sticking with us. I don't if there was actually what do they call them? What happened way back when from Gas and Dange. thank you for listening to that. You can check that out, follow that up on Thursday on the Insanely Dangerous Retro Podshow. If not, and I misunderstood the email that Dane sent me, I don't know. This part's been cut out.
There you go.
Romy and Michele. Romy and Michele.
Romy and Michele. So the first thing I noticed, though, was like, obviously, I think like the Touchstone Pictures logo came up and it started playing Just a Girl by No Doubt. And I was like, wow, I'm immediately transported to the 90s.
That's fair.
And then I was like, wow, an extended, very low definition establishing shot of like South Beach.
Wait, you're okay. So it might have just been my rental, but my rental, my HD rental was so low def.
Well, so the whole movie was fine. I think it was that like a lot of times these establishing shots were on like probably not as good of cameras because they were probably too heavy to like do, because like it wasn't a drone, it must have been a helicopter, I don't know. So but then when they get to like the actual film cameras that they use for the movie, like it's 16:9, it's reasonable quality, but like the title sequences and some of like the stock footage and other stuff is all shitty, like 4:3. I mean, this was at least widescreen, but it was very low quality.
Yeah, that is a good point. As much as I'm going to harp on this movie, there are some ambitious shots, to technical shots, like this opening shot, the car in the limo,
nary a low Dutch angle.
Yes, there's no low Dutch angles to speak of. God, what if Leprechaun just had a bunch of Dutch angles?
Oh gosh!
But it starts out with them watching Pretty Woman, followed by a homophobic joke.
Yay, late 90s.
Yeah, at least it was about lesbians this time, I think.
At least I don't know what that means. I mean, it's more permissible. What are you saying?
I'm just saying it's more inclusive.
Fair.
They're breaking that glass ceiling of homophobic jokes.
Like, let's not limit our homophobia to just one gender.
Yes. The way they're limiting themselves to one gender. That was the 90s.
Oh.
Get it?
Yeah. Sexual harassment in the workplace, obviously.
Yes. What was his name that worked in the...
I hesitate to guess because anything I guess, if it's not correct, is going to be highly offensive. Just saying. A Latinx gentleman / service technician trying to get a date
His name was Ramon.
Ramon, thank God. That's not what I was going to say. So
yes, I knew it started with an R. I also was not going to say Ramon. Yes, he was doing what?
He was hitting on Romy, who works at the cashier's desk.
Yes.
Which was funny because... Wait.
Why was it funny?
No, we hadn't got to that part yet. I'm confused now.
At the Jaguar dealership.
That's later at the Jag dealer.
Oh, well, I mean, so the first time you see her at work, so they're like getting ready to go to the club, and they go to the club and they just dance together. And then,
the club. That's where it was. Sorry, I had that. Yep.
And then Mira Sorvino's character, Romy, is at work the next day, and she's waiting for Ramon to bring some old lady's Jaguar around.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is the first moment that I took to say, I hate her accent in this.
Yeah, it's horrible. And what is it? So she's American. So is she doing an accent? Or is she from like a certain area of the US where she has a weird accent?
Or does she think that's how like Nevadans sound?
Well, she was born in New York. That's probably why. Maybe it is like a New York accent she's trying to cover. I think that might be what it is.
That's highly possible. That's highly possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not good though. It's unidentifiable and it's really bad.
And after the old lady, we see Janine Garofalo in the Jaguar dealership, which sparks this whole adventure. Oh yeah, smoking a cigarette.
Just smoking. Which ironically, the movie that came on immediately following this on Tubi was The Mask. It just immediately started playing. Smoking.
Did you hear Jim Carrey decided to retire from acting after Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
That would probably do it to just about anybody.
Not the first one. The second one. Yeah. And at this moment, I decided I hate this movie.
I mean, it's fun. It's bad, but it's fun.
Is it?
It's bad.
So I'm going to take this time to pontificate. When you have a cult classic, it is a cult classic because either A, it is an indie film that is underappreciated when it came out, and that means that it has some sort of decent cinematography, which I guess I said this had some ambitious shots, a decent plot, and some quality to it. Or it's just so cheesy and bad that it's good again. This finds itself in between both. It's just bad. It's not so bad that it's funny again.
No, I mean there were laugh out loud funny parts, but they were few and far between. And it wasn't a well executed movie by any means. Well, I mean, certainly nothing I'd watch again. You
look at other high school movies, even from this era, starring people that were in their 30s, and at no point during this movie did I think, I'm glad I finally watched this. I'm glad that this is now a part of my pop culture lexicon. Even The Leprechaun, which was a terrible movie. Terrible movie, yeah. I appreciated watching it because now I understand and don't have to watch 8 more movies in that franchise to have experienced Leprechaun for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And I'm sorry I'm putting you in a weird position because I'm usually the one that's like, no, Andrew, the blah, blah, blah. But what about this? It can't be that bad. I am the one going after this movie.
No, I know. It's not good. But it was better than other things we've had to watch. As far as sheer entertainment value. Leprechaun, I wanted to die the entire time it was on. And not by way of
this movie.
Maniacal leprechaun. Fair
enough. That's fair.
So I don't know. It's fine. But it's me. I think I secretly like a chick flick or whatever.
No, I secretly like you didn't like She's All That. I like She's All That.
Here's the problem. It's an American comedy film, but it's not funny enough to be a comedy.
That is my point.
Yeah. It's like a chick flick, but there isn't the guy. There is a guy, but it's Fun Bobby from Friends. A lot of Friends people in this, by the way.
Well, I mean, it was a height of Friends at the time.
Apparently Jennifer Aniston was married to the guy who played the cowboy, by the way.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so anyway.
Or
was, not is. That's no.
No, because she married Brad Pitt at some point.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Who was also on Friends.
Yes, he did appear.
Okay, so Janine Garofalo shows up at the Jaguar dealership that Romy works. I don't even know Janine Garofalo's character. I just know her as Janine Garofalo.
The smoking lady. I forgot her name of her character.
Yeah, she after high school she invented a quick burning paper. There's a flashback, Family Guy style flashback to it, which I thought was going to be a thing that would be a plus for this movie because they kept doing callbacks Family Guy style.
Yeah,
it wasn't doing it for me.
And nothing I hate more than a friggin' dream sequence. I was like, this movie's 93 minutes. We don't have time for an extended dream sequence. Comes later.
They also stuck it into the gay joke about Drama Club when they were looking through their yearbook. Okay, so Janine Garofalo tells them about the reunion, and they're like, oh, we should go to the reunion. Or Romy's like, we need to go to the reunion to show up those. Well, they don't think about it until later, but they want to go to the reunion. And then they start reminiscing about high school, going through the yearbook. There's a bunch of yearbook flashbacks, so you were talking about how they would dress up like to do to show the difference between high school and their current age. Mira Sorvino was 29ish when they shot this.
Okay.
Kudrow and Garofalo and Cumming was they were like 30, 32, 33. I think Sorvino and Kudrow look better as high school students. They look more natural as high school students than and like closer to the correct age than they do as the age that they actually were.
I think I get that because it's like they were almost dressed too young to be their actual age in the movie, you know, like, but it's because they were clinging to high school. So I kind of see that. I get that aspect of things. Was that what it was? I feel like, you know, it's relatively effective. And then there's those other programs like, oh gosh, the worst one is Vampire Diaries, which I don't watch, but Kayla puts on. I'm like, like these people are supposed to be in high school, but I think half of them are on Social Security. They're so damn old. And they're like, yeah, I'm totally in high school. I'm like, no, you're not. Also, you're not a vampire.
I like that one girl, Nina Dobrev. She's found her way outside of the Vampire Diaries, and
she's in a retirement home now. No, just kidding.
I think she's younger. I think she's like the same age as us, or like a few years younger. But actually, I think no, she's our age. Yeah. So everyone on that show is our age, if you think about that.
God, we're old.
Yep. But yeah, so they had flashbacks to high school, and then there's like that preppy A squad that's like they look like they're the chicks from Grease. Like, yeah.
And then like the main one, I forgot her name, the one that's dating Fun Bobby.
That was Fun Bobby.
It was Fun Bobby. Yeah. Well, which is funny because he ends up being a drunk in this movie too.
Right. I knew he looked familiar.
Anyway, the main gal that he was with, like her, I mean,
Sandy. No, that was the dude. Christy.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this is a Family Guy joke that I'm recycling, but it was like she didn't have a good tooth to gum ratio. It was a lot of gum.
I couldn't tell if that was a real or fake.
Scared me. I didn't like it.
And they were also discolored. Well, because she was drinking the blue margarita. Yeah.
But you're right. They were very like dated looking.
Yeah. Even when even at the reunion, they were like all Stepford wifesy.
Yeah.
Which I guess they were going for because it was like Tucson, Arizona, middle of nowhere, backwater.
Yeah, it just felt odd.
Shout out to our listeners in Tucson.
What's up, Arizona?
They flash back to the senior prom, where Michele says no one's gonna say no to anyone tonight, and then Alan Cumming, his character Sandy, goes up and asks her, and it's like, no. Asks her to dance, and she's like, no. At this point, I literally hated every character in that movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Romy gets stood up because the prom king, Fun Bobby, was like, I'll dance with you. Then talks to his prom queen girlfriend. It's like, what do I do? And then he stands her up she says, he broke up with me for you. And then they ride off together or whatever. I hate it. I hate this entire movie.
And then I like your predictions again. Janine Garofalo, which just keeps getting funnier and funnier every time I read it.
Thank you.
Ends up with William B. Davis, the cigarette smoking man from the X-Files.
Yeah. I thought he would morph into him by the end.
Oh gosh.
And then I was like, my predictions were at the reunion, Romy sleeps with the prom king who is married to the prom queen. Janine Garofalo ends up with a cigarette smoking man, and Michele ends up with that creepy dude. Bitchin' soundtrack though.
It's also part of an alien conspiracy.
So as they're filling out their questionnaires, they're like, "Oh, we're not good enough to impress these people and whatever." so they think we should find boyfriends and get better jobs before getting to their reunion. I mean,
the cycling scene was kind of funny.
The joke.
They were at spin class or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, I don't remember exactly what they were doing. They'd like jump or stand on the seat as they
jump up and down on the seat. Yeah.
Pedaled. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
And the joke?
I forgot the joke.
Oh, it was something like spin class so sexual, or like Romy to Michelle's like, what does this remind you of? As they were going up and down, up and down.
And then well, maybe you should talk about this, but the suit salesman guy.
That was my first laugh. She was trying to find a boyfriend. She was at the club. Romy was like, she's like, is that Gucci? No. Or what kind of suit is that? And he's like, it's Armani. And she's like, oh, what do you do for work? And he's like, I'm a suit salesman. And so she's like, would you excuse me? I cut my foot before and my shoe is filling up with blood, and then walks away. That was my first genuine laugh.
See, I couldn't even discern that as a joke, so I didn't even react to it.
Because of her voice?
I don't know what. It just didn't seem like a joke because I didn't think it was funny. I mean, in retrospect, it's slightly funny. I was like, did I miss something?
The laugh was either the suit salesman. I think I laughed at the suit salesman thing, but I found her leaving immediately and making up a terrible reason to leave was also.
And then she limped away.
Yes.
That's the funny thing.
And then the next thing was a joke as well. So this is a whole montage of them trying to find better jobs. Michelle's trying to find an actual job, and Romy is trying to find a boyfriend. And Michelle offhand says, oh, Cheryl found a boyfriend at this new place she was going to, because Romy's like, I can't find one at the club. And Romy's like, where is it at? And then it cuts to her at an AA meeting saying,
of course,
pretending to be an alcoholic. Like, another
always
check.
Fair game.
Another check. I hate it.
And then, of course, they tried to appear on Singled Out, which, as we know, was hosted by Chris Hardwick and, at one time, I believe, Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy and Carmen Electra at this point, I think.
And Janine Garofalo. No, I'm kidding.
They're told that the cutoff is, Romy's told the cutoff is 25. You should try VH1.
That's a fun dig. I like that.
Yeah, but not enough to make me laugh. And
I didn't laugh out loud during the movie, but now I'm laughing because it is pretty funny.
They're on treadmills with high heels, and Romy gives up, so Michelle gives up. They're like, oh, of course we couldn't do that in 2 weeks. And then they start binging
themselves. Yeah.
Can you describe that mound of...
There was those the big containers, like the red vines come in, the big plastic container. Mm-hmm. There was one of those like full of jelly beans, but they'd eaten like half of them. And there was like ice cream. And I think there was like a kind of a picked apart ham. I swear to God, I saw a ham.
Is that what the cat was looking?
The cat also made. So when I saw the cat in the background eating, I was like, oh my God, a kitty. I was just like, what is wrong with you? My favorite part of that scene was the cat.
Yeah.
So,
well, because it was just a mound of candy and sugar.
I mean, it was a huge coffee table just entirely filled with snacks.
And they're all like 90s snacks. There's like fruit by the foot.
I was like, how'd they get this footage of my living room? This is crazy.
There's a half-eaten snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that made me cringe. And I am a fat man.
Yeah, I like snack. I like a good snack. So I'm with you. But that was too much.
Oh, so this is where they decide to lie and then go anyway to their reunion. Michelle has to make them business suits, and Romy knows where to get a car. And she shows up and this is the scene that you were talking about with Ramon.
One of the scenes, yeah.
The second and final scene with Ramon. it sounded like you wanted to talk about it.
No, well, basically, she wants the car.
Yes.
And of course, very creepily and very incorrectly, he's like, well, what's in it for me? Which is super gross.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, well, I'm not going to have sex with you, which thank you for going there with that.
Yep.
And then, but it turns out he just wants her to like make the sounds as if they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so she keeps saying like really bizarre things that he wants her to say, which is super funny.
And then it gets to the part where he's like, you got to say something about my penis. And she's like, oh, what a super great penis. Okay, thanks. Get off me now.
Like that sounded, you wanted it to be realistic. That's what
what she said. Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
I think that was my second laugh.
One of my big laughs came shortly after this.
Or it might've been this part. She pulls up in the Jaguar. Michele comes out and gets in, and she's like, wow, what'd you have to do to get this? And then Romy's just like, I had to give all the guys in the service department hand jobs. And then Michele just keeps like packing stuff in the trunk, and they get in the car, and Romy's like, I didn't actually do that. I was joking. You know that, right? And I don't know. Lisa Kudrow.
My laugh out loud moment was when she pulled up and hit the horn and it played La Cucaracha. I actually laughed at that joke.
Wow.
Yeah. For some reason, it just got me. You know, like you don't expect it, and you just laugh. It was not on purpose.
Speaking of unpished shots, there's a nice in-car buckling shot across Romy's crotch. Why do I keep doing that? Romy's crotch for no reason. It's just like, oh, there's her crotch, there's her hand buckling in.
Yeah, it seemed like that was going to somehow be relevant.
Yeah, because they were just talking
she's
about
buckling.
Yeah,
and then
she like puts the mixtape into the cassette deck, or the other one does. And it's just like, okay, and they start singing the wrong lyrics. Footloose. Now they're on a road trip.
Road trip montage.
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
But it's during the road trip that they decide they try to figure out their business women ideas, the lie, and then they're just like, let's say we invented Post-it notes. That's the, and this is pre mobile phone, or pre-internet mobile phone.
Yeah, that's true. But like, that's a big one to say you did. You know what I mean?
It is. And it's also something that if you remember back to your childhood, you should have remembered Post-it notes existing, because they were introduced to the public in 1980.
Really?
Yes. So their 10-year reunion was in 1997, which means Post-it notes have been out for 7 years by the time they graduated high school. Andrew's fact checking.
I can't believe that.
Why not?
It doesn't seem like it came out that 1977.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, 79 was like a test release, and then by 80 it was publicly on the market.
Oh, that's really interesting.
More interesting than this movie discussion.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you seen?
I have seen this movie. Yes. It's a 9-hour drive from Redondo Beach to Tucson, and it felt like for the 4 minutes that they were driving, it felt like 9 hours. Of course, they have the classic mid-movie blow up, because yes, they start saying who is cuter and who's smarter out of their duo. Andrew, are you the brains or the cute one?
Gosh, I hate to limit myself to just one. I'm the humble one. No, I'll go with the brains.
All right. I'll go with the cute one then.
So cute.
You know it. Because if not for my looks, what else would I have? At the reunion, to be fair, we're both the smart ones, and neither of us are the cute one.
That's true.
At the reunion, Romy catches. Oh, sorry. So they have a big blow up, and they're like, when we get to Tucson, I don't know why I'm doing this voice because Mira Sorvino had like this really husky accent on.
Yeah, she sounded like Elizabeth Holmes' fake, like weird deep voice.
Is that her actual voice?
No, apparently there's like on a podcast, she accidentally goes into her regular voice for a split second. And so apparently people are, if they have a deep voice, people find them more trustworthy.
Oh. Is that why I do most of the talking on this podcast?
But it was very creepy. It sounds like her.
Interesting. So they decide to split up when they get to the reunion. And then we think they get to the reunion, and Michele must have taken some peyote at some point because she has a whole dream sequence. Michele catches up with the girl, those A-lister girls. Romy catches up with Billy. Somehow they convince the other one that they both have, they both are Post-it note, whatever, creators. And Billy, who is Fun Bobby from Friends.
Yeah.
Like, at what moment did you realize this was a dream sequence?
I think it was when she got hit by the car.
The limo, you mean?
Yeah.
The stretch limo.
Which was super funny, by the way. Like, it was super fake and cheesy, but it was really funny. Because I think the way she went flying when she first got hit.
I liked the roll across the top of the limo, and then like it takes out the tail
little
spoiler.
Aerial, yeah. Whatever that was.
That all Texans have on the back of their limos.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny. But and then I think Kayla noticed it when she saw that in the decorations were a banana and a carrot because those are the magnets they put on her back brace.
Oh, clever. That's awesome.
I didn't notice that. I was like, whoa, look at those decorations.
Shout out to Kayla.
Shout out. What?
Oh, wait. Was it when they went back in the first time or?
Yeah, I don't know. It's when they went into the venue. And I was like, what is this venue?
Yeah. Wasn't that their gym or something? I don't know. Yes. I didn't realize it until, because I knew something was weird when they got hit, and then they were both like making out in separate cars. And I knew
the whole like the flash forward 70 years. Like, why are they 100? Why like 70 years seemed excessive?
Well, because that's their deathbed. Wait. When did you actually? You said you caught up to it when I missed it.
When she got hit by the limo.
Got hit by the limo. Okay, it took me a little bit longer. It was when the annoying friend of the geeks hovered over the open moonroof. On the limo.
That was pretty funny. And then like Alan Cumming, his character floated out the sunroof.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yes, I am ashamed to admit it took me that long because I knew Alan Cumming got rich, and I was like, is he wearing a fake mask or something? Because I had watched the final scene before, so I was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, they flash forward 70 years. Romy's still mad at Michele on her deathbed. The end. Let's just call it there.
The end.
But no, there's another 20 minutes left of the movie and the real ending. Like, so that whole thing was a dream sequence. They found Romy didn't bother to wake Michele up when they got to the reunion. So they both go in separately. One of the mean girls had become an assistant fashion editor.
One of the mean girls had become Hillary Clinton. Essentially,
it was hinted at in the flashback scene that she was like not as mean as the other ones, because she was like, I don't know, I think their fashion's kind of cool. And then the prime one was like, shut up, Stephanie, or whatever her name is.
Yeah, except it looked like she was going to an anti-funeral. Like that looks like bad fashion to me.
Well, it was the 90s. The 90s was a different time, Andrew. Janine Garofalo shows up and tells everyone, or lets it slip that the Post-Note guy was not Mira Sorvino's character. Yeah. I did like the moment where Michele comes up to defend Romy from the three bitchy girls, and she's like, well, we're not the ones who got fat. And then they're like, we're pregnant, you half-wit.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know why that's there and not further down. The actual reunion, the Pretender song plays. Yes. They get called out in front of everyone because that one girl's a giant bitch.
Yeah, seriously.
Then they come back dressed like the sex bots from Austin Powers for some reason.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what I was thinking.
But then the assistant editor girl's like, that's fetch. And then
That's fetch.
And then one of the and then the girl's like, stop trying to make fetch happen, Gretchen. And then Gretchen's like, I don't I'm falling apart here.
Me too. I'm falling apart. I'm so tired. I don't even know.
Yeah. Anyways, they get their revenge. Everyone stops listening to the queen bee because she's a giant bitch. Everybody wants to rule the world plays. Sandy comes in. Oh, they come back and tell off that chick that they tell Janine Garofalo that you were really unpleasant in high school. And then she makes up with that one girl that she kept telling to F off.
Which I found funny.
Yeah, I didn't. Sandy comes in via helicopter. The last thing that I laughed at was special rubber, like for condoms.
Yeah.
Because he made a special rubber, apparently. And then Janine Garofalo hooks up with the Texas guy or the cowboy guy. Michele thinks falls in love with Sandy because he looks so rich.
I tire of the ending. I've grown weary of the ending.
There's so much ending.
Like the whole Sandy dancing with both girls thing was kind of funny, but then like became a bit awkward when he took them both on the helicopter. And like Michele was in love with him, but it seemed specifically because he was rich, which seemed odd to me.
Thank you.
Like
Also,
it didn't feel like a good ending to me.
Were they dancing to Swan Lake?
I don't know. It just felt like the ending felt gross.
Yes, it really did. I don't remember. Oh, Jebba. Fun Bobby is drunk and tries to pick up Romy. So she makes him wait for him naked.
I thought you called her Chubbo. That's what I heard.
It's possible. I heard Jebba. But that makes more sense. But yeah.
Well, the funny thing that Kayla said at that time, she's like, she wasn't overweight. I'm like, yeah, I know, but that's like a story device.
Yeah, she wasn't. Like she had a blazer on. She had a blazer on. That was it.
Like her weight was exactly the same in the high school scenes as it was in the other scenes.
Right.
And neither of them are overweight. Can I just point that out? Yes.
The need to lose the pounds when they looked like that at the start of the week. It was.
Yeah, it was like a joke on conceitedness. It wasn't okay.
Well, I mean, yes, her random diets of just eating jelly beans and whatever. Yeah, at one point I just write, please end this effing movie. Oh, and then,
like they flew away on the helicopter. And there was still more.
Yes. There was another scene where they own a store from a loan that they got from Michelle's new husband or boyfriend, apparently. And
Sugar daddy.
Who counts her as a possession, literally said, I could own all the things in the world, but without you, I'm nothing. Or without having you, I'm nothing. Which is a very 90s way to look at the world, but that is the incorrect way. Women are not objects to own. Unless you're in the Middle East, and still no.
Yeah, you can't own people.
Yeah.
People in the South, just remember you can't own people. But yeah, still feel free to fly that Confederate flag, you weirdos.
Any final thoughts on the movie?
Watchability greater than that of Leprechaun. Quality poor. Jokes poor. I think Lisa Kudrow kind of saved it. If she wasn't in the movie, it would have been dumb.
Yes. Dumber.
Like, I don't know that it would have achieved cult classic status if it didn't have at least a few big names in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I know Mira Sorvino has been nominated for something, but
Golden Globes twice. She's
just not a power. I don't know. I think it's the Lisa Kudrow show with a little bit of Janine Garofalo show.
But it's Romy's story. God damn it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It gets a pass from me, but it just passes muster as something to watch.
You're saying pass good, not pass it on it.
No, it just achieves the status of being watchable, but only just.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts from me, I guess, would be that it doesn't deserve the cult status that it has.
Fair.
When people say this is a cult classic, they neglect to disclose that the dumb people are the cult for this cult classic. Unlike a slew of other amazing cult classics in the 90s, this doesn't hit that balance of smart, interesting, or indie quirkiness, or just the so bad that it's good again. It's just bad. It's not good again. It's good again in maybe some parts, but not enough to deserve cult classic status. And I this is the first movie that we've watched, or first movie, TV show, anything that we've watched where I don't feel like I am better for having watched it.
You mean the homophobia didn't do it for you?
No. Even that aside, it would not improve this movie. I don't think I said that right.
No.
Even without the homophobia, it wouldn't have.
No, just stop.
Okay. That's the correct way to say it, though. And that's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Namely90s with 90s, or find our personal accounts at bshwitty and at NamelyAndrew, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. Remember to send us congratulations on 2 years of podcasting to Namely90s at gmail.com. That's also with 90s. Record yourself, make it like a minute, or make it like a fun little sketch, or sing us happy birthday like someone did last year. If you'd like to support the show, please check us out on our Patreon at patreon.com/Namely90s, also with 90s. Finally, you can also contact us through our website, Namely90s.com. That's a lie. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Janine Garofalo, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon, and that's Andrew, and we will catch you undead.